observing something where I felt like I would actually push the whole craft forwards. I could give people something that they would enjoy.
Blows being traded back and forth. We have a series on our hand here in the grand final of the StarLadder Minor. Both of these teams already through to the major, but they want to play 4 seeding and they want to try to grab that cash prize money that is up for grabs. My name is Rich. I'm going to be your host. I'm joined by Nahaz and Kyle, and let's actually get into this one. Kyle, I know you kind of wanted to talk about the fact you were watching with the coaches from these two squads, and the big topic was TA.
Yeah, I mean, we were just kind of laughing about how broken that hero is. It's like every change to the overall game has made TA better. You remove an ancient camp, thus buffing heroes that love ancient stacks. Traps doing damage. One of the few heroes that still has a plus damage mechanic that not only works on denies, but it doesn't even remove a refraction charge. Right. Like, you get shut down, doesn't matter. At some point, you're in the jungle and you're like, wait, TA's top net worth, and oh, we want to fight? I guess we're getting Roche now. That's like, it's just it's a dumb hero.
And you had the conversation with the same person that Sin did, but we joked about it on the desk the other day. The whole, if you didn't hear about this conversation, we were kind of making fun of Sin because he actually got really angry in the conversation. But the question that was proposed to him was, how do you beat TA in lane?
Yeah.
And
Sin's like, oh, I don't think it's that good, and it just, I think
no, that's actually that's not entirely what Sin said. Sin made an argument for Bat being able to Bat Rider potentially being able to beat it in lane, but it is not an easy thing to answer right now. So when you have a hero this strong, Nahaz, how do you actually evaluate the game?
But the counterpoint at which that Aiden made in the conversation that I thought was really good was, okay, you have heroes like Bat that can beat it in lane, but then TA is going to go and she's going to come back anyway in most lineups, and she's still going to do what she needs to do in the game. She's still going to influence the game, and you've got then now a farmed Bat that you have to try and get something out of, and it's a lot of pressure. There's this concept, if you've ever studied the Japanese martial arts, all right?
Oh,
There's this concept called... Good. This I like. All right. There's this concept called Sensen no Sen, which is basically stealing the initiative. And that's, look at the timings in this NIP lineup. TA, Ursa, Bat Rider. These are the times of the game that Alliance likes to play. They like to establish their momentum. They like to take over. And this NIP lineup just, it steals that initiative from you at that those key points in the game. And once again, I really feel like 2 games in a row, this 5th pick from Alliance has kind of been an unforced error. The Medusa in game 2 being too greedy. The Monkey King in this game, I understand the theory in the lane, but it makes these fights just feel awkward to me.
You're picking it into Bat as well. Like, the whole way Alliance wins is if they're somehow like shoving down towers, 15, 20 minutes into the game. You win this fight, right? But where are they winning all these fights? They're outside of their own base. They don't have a natural playmaker. Bat Rider constantly, even as the 4 position on Saksa, making plays, finding kills at all times. And
33 was the bad, but I get you.
I was just testing you. Good job.
Do not test your senpai.
No, look, I don't know, man. I just don't understand this Alliance idea of a 5th pick Monkey King. I get it. It's cute. It's a possible lane encounter to the TA, and you see a lot of activity. But then, how are you going to take fights? You got to have either the perfect hook shot, or you got to have this clever monkey set up in the trees, which you're banking on against a TA that's going to have vision everywhere for traps. It's just, it makes these fights very difficult, and that's how Alliance has dealt with these high tempo lineups on the opposite side, is they've got themselves a team fight advantage. Well, the Monkey King may be a lane encounter to the TA, it may not, but it takes away those coordinated team fights.
And as we're talking about TA, how impactful do you think that a hero like this is going to be in future drafts?
I think it's going to get nerfed.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Well, I mean in this series, I don't think I don't think the nerf hammer's going to come on mid-series.
Nahaz is always thinking a few steps ahead. All right, you ever watch A Beautiful Mind?
Well, you know what? let me then throw the question at somebody who's usually a few steps behind. Kyle, what do you think is going to happen to the TA here throughout the rest of the series? Because you were actually talking to the coaches about it, and you have the coaches from both sides saying that this is something that they value super high. Yeah. Does that mean we expect it to be banned? Do we expect it? Okay.
First you picked or banned second phase. I don't see any scenario where this hero is picked in that scenario. It was a great matchup in the game, and NIP got it fourth. They saw 4 heroes. That's just so much information. Yeah. You know it's a Dream TA game, and it's crazy, you know. Again, Fada, people are clowning on him after game 1. They don't recognize the importance of your team and the way your hero fits into the overall game strategy. It's crazy when he's actually on this hero that can have a good game, that can establish dominance throughout the mid game. Suddenly looks like a great player again. Wow.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
It's funny, though, you go back to the 4th picks, and that 4th pick, TA, at the time, there's a lone druid on the board for Alliance, and, I mean, that's a matchup Max is perfectly comfortable with. We've seen him lone druid against TA in the mid lane. You don't need the Monkey King, to me, in that draft. So it's just a little unfortunate. I want to see these games. I want us to be talking about the drafts being even. I want to see these games come down to plays, and the last 2 games really haven't.
Okay, that's a reasonable thing to say. And when we're hopping in to the next draft, we will get to assess that once again. But is this how you guys expected the series to play out? Because we didn't really do too many predictions. We've been getting into the games really fast for the most part. So, Alan, I'm kind of curious. Is this what you expected thus far?
I mean, more or less, these are 2 teams that have a lot of familiarity with each other, you know, familiar foes. At the same time, though, I expected the Alliance drafts to be a little bit less cute, particularly at the tail end, and I expected the fact that they were just playing a little bit better than NIP in this tournament to bear out. Really? But instead, it's NIP that has the 2-1 lead.
Personally, I love a cute tail end, but I can understand your reservations. It's difficult, I think, to last pick in that spot. You've got to deal with the TA, the Enigma, the Bat. There's so many issues that you need to solve with this one pick. It's a really an impossible task, and I agree Monkey King isn't it, but like what was it?
There are basically 2 parts to that tail end, right? You have the idea that you need to finish the machine that you've been trying to create, but also you need to be answering what your opponent has brought, right, Kyle? So how, as somebody who has played at the highest level, or at least to the highest level that you're capable of, how would you say that you look at a situation like that, right? When you go, okay, I see what they're trying to do. There's this hero that can answer that, and it can make that idea fall apart. Or I can go with something that just completes what we've been working on in our draft. Like, what is that decision actually like?
It's tough because the problem is that NIP's roster was so put together that there isn't anything Alliance can do to like really change the state of the game. I think as last pick specifically, to your point, you know, the Medusa was all right, but here, like Monkey King's just not this really scary 22 pick. When you think gotcha, it's, you know, the Meatbows and the Huskars, et cetera, and they didn't even have anything that could have been close to that high level of impact because they were so pigeonholed into the strategy of, okay, we have Clock, we have Lone Druid, we have Jug, we have low damage output, we're going to try and take towers early, get a huge advantage. You can't alter that in any way when you're playing against an Enigma and you're playing against a Bat that you have no real answers for. It was just...
I don't know that the draft is as grim as you're making it sound. I don't want to waste too much time theory crafting one particular pick, but the thing is, like, we talked about Alliance even since before the tournament. They're a team that they get into trouble when they get into the tail end of the mid game and into the late game, and one of their big players doesn't have the farm. One of their big players isn't in a situation where they can influence the game. And that's what I feel like in these last 2 drafts, by picking a very greedy Medusa, by picking that kind of a strange Monkey King, you put yourself in positions where one of your big playmakers isn't necessarily going to be able to get things done to decide the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Well put.
I think that's a really big thing to talk about. As of right now, throughout the rest of the series, do you think that it's still going to come down to drafts, or do you think it's actually going to be coming down to plays? Because that's the big question that Nahaz has actually proposed.
But what I'm saying is, if you think about it, right, we're getting our predictions correct based on the draft. So you've got to figure that there are huge advantages. You know what I mean? Like, really.
This ain't subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, like we could probably call up your mom, and she'd be perfectly capable of doing our jobs as well. Thankfully, and we should do that actually, because I don't want him to know that we're replaceable.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that invite. I don't want my mom to get the invite. I swear, if my mom gets to host a big show before me, I'm going to be a little bit tilted. But I do think that there is plenty to talk about. But we are going to make sure that we get everything with the next match ready. We're going to be taking a quick break. When we return, we're finally going to. Sorry.
What?
Just heard. They actually want to hear from Nahaz more.
Oh,
They
cool.
wanna hear from
Oh,
Nahaz
wow.
more.
Perfect.
Yeah, I heard.
I'm
so
sure
the-
all of Reddit agrees with that.
So basically, there was I heard from production. They said, "Hey, we have 5 minutes," and they were like, "We don't want to stress you out." And they're like, "5 minutes? What's that to Nahaz? Nahaz, you get to take the floor right now. Tell us
wait.
everything that's on your mind."
I'm just gonna sit here.
Gee, really? Pressure's on.
Actually, hang on, let me. Oh, perfect. Thanks. Hang on.
You want to take some notes?
Yeah. Well, what the?
Well, so give me a topic, because the last 2 games are pretty simple, right? Alliances.
What is this? I tried to anime bait you.
that was for me and Blitz. Yeah, that wasn't
That was
really.
what was that? It was like a couple
sorry,
days
Alan,
ago,
I'm
right?
sorry, we interrupted him. So can you just what are we learning?
Okay, write this down, Kyle. Don't. I don't see writing.
Oh, sorry.
Don't. Okay. Outdraft.
Outdraft. How do you spell that?
O-U-T.
I'm just kidding. Can you just
Okay.
keep going? This is really.
Don't outdraft yourself.
Okay.
There you go. Write that down, and I want you to. We're going to get you a blackboard, and you're going
Got
to be
it.
Bart Simpson and copy that, because I think that's what Alliance has done.
Oh man, I'm really good at this from school.
Practice makes perfect, Rich. Practice makes perfect.
Oh man, you
So
don't.
Kyle, do you think we
What?
get a patch between minor and major?
What?
Kyle, it's really hot. I'm gonna need you to slide over. I need you to slide over. a little bit.
You
It's heat
literally
down there.
did want me to just keep
Yeah,
going?
I thought that was you asked the community and they said we want to hear from Nahaz and you're just asking me questions. Like,
Yeah,
I'll-
I pulled the community.
Somebody told me that a panel was supposed to be like a conversation, and one person wasn't supposed to take up
you
too
know,
much space.
it's
I don't
funny
know.
that he knows that, and yet
And
I
yet
actually-
you have never learned it, right?
I actually will say, through all of my years of commentating, I've never with one panel felt such lows of rage and such highs of affection as with the panel between you two guys.
Really?
Yeah, Kyle, I think you're a big factor in it because I've worked with Nahaz quite a bit before. And Nahaz is one of the most reliable analysts you can ever have.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest. And this is something that I think everybody knows. You know, the first time that I was actually hosting Dota, you know, I'm still learning a lot about the game over at the CQ Major. And after paneling with Nahaz the first time, I knew that, you know, that emergency glass, it was, I had like, in doubt, I had that emergency glass I could cross me. Nahaz, what do you think? I was fine. 20 minutes covered. I was good to go.
20 years of lecturing, dude.
I'll be honest. I feel very safe. I feel very safe with Nahaz. On the other hand, sometimes Kyle makes me feel a little bit in danger, to say the least.
what do you mean?
Hey man,
Kyle, what do you think you mean?
it's a compliment. You're a bad boy. You're the bad boy of Dota.
You are.
You're the bad boy of Dota. I've actually heard that some people sometimes go in chat and say, Kyle _is_wrong_yet_again, because they're so intimidated by all of the knowledge that you bring. And I think that just goes to show how remarkable you are at your job. You're almost as remarkable at your job as DX Racer is remarkable at being something to sit in. One of the most comfortable chairs on the platform of the stage, because all of our players are sitting in them right now as they get ready for this draft. Keep in mind, this one is going to be a best of 5. So we got a little wiggle room left to go. Blows being traded back and forth, but we are finally starting to see a team pull ahead.
All right, like if I do just go into yet another career and decide to start my own hedge fund, man, can you be my investor relations person? I want a verbal commitment right now, because you all you need to do is just call them up and get me money to invest. That's it. That's all.
Hey, man, if I could get people to just give me money by talking, don't you think I would have that job?
Ha, ha, ha. Oh, wait.
All right, let's jump into the draft right now. Already a little bit underway here. And once again, a draft that's looking a little bit different, but still NIP getting some of the heroes that they have really prioritized throughout this entire tournament.
Both teams.
I think notably they get the Storm right off the bat.
Yeah.
And we talked about Alliance and what do they need to win games. It's that reach advantage. It's the ability to find kills. And thus far, they haven't had that in the 2 games that they've lost. I think this is a great choice right away. And you already have nice targets. You can go straight for the Rubik or straight for the Abaddon, pop them.
And when you think about it,
and
right?
scale as well. It's not like Koi for Storm ever falls off. Yes, I was still going.
No, you're good. You're good, man. Keep
No,
seriously.
please.
Seriously.
After Nahaz.
I've actually.
I think you were transitioning, and that's my bad. That's my bad.
No, don't. Why? What did we? You didn't take our criticism seriously, do you? We love you.
No, sorry. I was just thinking about something different, and Anyway,
What were you thinking about?
What? Yeah.
What I was thinking about is the fact that a lot of the Storm counters in this tournament have just looked like doo-doo. When you look at Animage in particular, right? You talk about the heroes that counter Storm. So, a first phase Storm. Oh, you don't want to do that because this hero's counterable. But the Storm counters at this event have really not. What are you guys? Oh my lord! Chat, save me.
What? We're just trading notes, thinking about how we're gonna go into the second round bans. Like Alliance taking out the Night Stalker once again, very good against the Storm, and the morph from NIP, a Mickey special.
Mike is getting banned out hard here though. Look at this: Troll, Sven, and Morphling out of the pool.
Nice. What do you think about that?
I think that's after what we saw in the first game of the series. I have my 20-minute spiel lined up, Rich. You're all good. I know it. I see the bat signal. All right, we good.
All right. Keep in mind here, all jokes aside, it is heating up. It's starting to get serious. NIP could take it this game. And you want to try to keep a cool head in a scenario like this. So I do think it is important to start to look at the draft and try to figure out what we will expect as we move into the second phase.
It's true. I like the Lycan ban. And what else does Alliance love to utilize? Some ability to push towers.
Yep.
Lone Druid is, of course, still in the pool. I think that's something you got to keep an eye on. But it is typically the Koifa hero. And he's obviously going to be playing the Storm, we can expect.
Yeah, I just as far as the liking goes, you saw the Jug in the last game. It didn't win, but one of the things I like in this tournament, I like gold efficient ones.
Yeah.
I like gold efficient safe laners. I don't want to have to put 13 to 15K net worth into my safe laner or my mid laner to get them online in the mid game. You like the Ember Spirit here?
Yeah, I do. I was talking with Pycat about it. It's like just a great hero against both Sand King and Storm because you have such high lockdown. And the synergy with Abaddon. Anytime you can buff or shield this Ember Spirit, this method of cleanse and then even the damage amp when that shield does pop, it's so difficult now to remove the Flame Guard and to kill this Ember Spirit. Storm's going to need, you can Orchid him, sure, but he doesn't even have to buy Yules because he can rely upon PPD in the back line to be able to help him out. The Grimstroke, definitely a favorite for Alliance. And again, it's so much better when you have this hero that can immediately jump forwards. In the laning phase, it was great with the Juggernaut, great with the clock. But later on, it's just not reliable. Whereas now, boom, pop the shield on the Storm, he zips forward, stuns, you get another stun on top, and then the easy stroke from Insania to finish off, as we saw so many times, even in that losing effort in the previous game. Do you have a comb for your mustache, Rich?
And looking at the screen right now, you can see some of the minds behind these teams.
Absolutely. Both TI players in their own right. TI champion on the right. A guy that was on stage with PPD at this event last year, and Pycat on your left.
How important is that? I mean, you guys have kind of had a relationship like this in the past, you know, where you guys, that's what's so funny because you guys obviously, I think to a lot of people at home, you know, they hear on this panel like you two going back and forth and really riffing. But
wow, I was wondering whether they were going to do this. They are going to stick with the ideal, in some ways, counter to the Storm Spirit, but this hero's just had so much tempo problems. And yeah, no, Kyle and I honestly, I wish, after working with Kyle, it was a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. I honestly wished I was like 5-8 years younger because coaching Dota it's a full-time job. It's not something you can do with a family.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun because it's a high-powered exchange of ideas.
Yeah, I do want to bring up that is one of the things, you guys riff because you have so much history and respect for each other, and when we see the AM locked in, what does that signal? Because I do think it is important that Nahaz brings up some
and
of the tempo
snap
issues.
pick jug after.
It's something we saw early in the tournament. Mickey is confident with this just fighting jug style, especially with the synergy of the Grimstroke, right? We saw how powerful that was until 15, 20 minutes of the previous game. He'll go for this drums, Yasha, Maelstrom, like Sanj and Yasha. He has so much move speed. You just chase down this backline, stay on top of the AM Ember. But they need something that actually, if I'm not mistaken, they won against an Animage
We
with
saw
Storm
this
Jug.
matchup. That's
Wasn't it against NIP?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was Mike Jug was
go to the books, Alan.
I mean,
Let me get
Mike
the
Jug
stats.
was almost 12K net worth by the time Ace got his Battle Fury. Now, the big thing in that game that happened that I don't necessarily think is going to happen here is Ace got forced into this really awkward aggro lane. And it was actually the Animage and an aggressive dual trial lane against the Mike Juggernaut. I gotta believe that NIP have a better plan here to get Ace secure in that Radiant safe lane.
I would agree. I think especially with the Abaddon, it's just really nice. But the concern I have, where's the damage? And is this off-lane pick for NIP really going to be enough to equalize? Because
you worried about NIP damage?
NIP damage for sure. Where is it?
It's Ember.
Sure,
it's
but that,
Ember and
Ember is more control in my eyes. You're going to be playing this 4-1 setup with Animage trying to split. I feel like Alliance, not only are you going to win the lanes, but it's so simple for you to find kills. NIP need Ember Spirit in every engagement.
No, I think we sometimes make this mistake in looking at drafts. We look too much at specific heroes, and we look too little at what the player is being asked to do by the team to be successful. And if you look at today, the games that Fada's look good, it's been on these heroes like the Gyrocopter, like the Mirana, that their spell damage ramps up in the mid game. I think this is going to be a spell damage focused Ember Spirit, and I think he is. The question is there a 33 hero that can be that secondary damage source for them before the AM comes online? Because the Rubik has some decent steals here, but if you're counting on Rubik steals to be your damage in these mid-game team fights, that's just a very brittle strategy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that is a valid way to be?
Look at the tiny bit.
Yeah.
Look at the exactly remembering what Boxy did to them the other night, how the tiny just zone the aim out. I'm sorry, Rich.
No, you're totally fine. You actually scared me.
I knew they were going to do that. Perfect. They banned it the other day. That was NIP's last ban the other day.
I wanted to say that for a while,
Beautiful,
but I had
Kyle.
to wait for my
Beautiful.
turn.
No,
Anyway, this hero is the
I
counter
love it.
to AM, the counter to Ember Spirit. You have the kill potential now, and the damage amplification. It gives you Roche. It gives you an easy stun. You all of a sudden, as Alliance, you don't have this sanking off lane that eventually just trades against the Animage. You have a Boxy StarLadder. He's gonna bash people in the head.
I don't know if NIP has a pick here. I don't know if NIP has a pick here.
I don't either. I think Alliance is gonna win this game.
There's a reason that NIP, we hadn't seen StarLadder touched in the tournament, and there's a reason that NIP fifth banned it the other day in this exact draft.
All right, this may be the thing to turn the tide here and extend the series.
If they didn't fourth pick the AM and instead that was the 3-3 hero,
Yeah,
I'd say, oh wow, what a dream Meepo game. But it's not available to you because you've already got these two big cores. And that's the problem. It isn't that, oh, there's no hero that's an excellent counter pick. It's just that what does 3-3 play that really changes the status quo? Because right now it feels like Alliance have an easier time killing everything. From heroes to buildings to Roche.
You think about 33's sort of twist heroes, it's not really a brute game.
It could be a puck. But again, where's the
33
damage?
puck, though?
Lycan? Do you go like?
Oh, that seems
Yeah, it just doesn't
risky.
seem synergistic.
I'm going through 33's hero pool in my head, and I don't think there's a classic 33 hero that does it. I think you have to default back to a more traditional offlaner. That's a 33 hero, but does it change the game?
Yeah, I mean, just to go back, I just saw chat because it catched up to when we actually did see that the final pick come through the lights. They were just like, what is that sound? For some reason, we all started high-fiving on the desk.
Oh, sorry about that.
It was just,
We were like, yeah, we were so excited
what
about
face?
it.
What is that sound? What are the analysts doing?
Rip headphone users. My bad.
So we all started.
Rich high-fived first.
We all started.
All right,
Either way, we
enough.
can point the blame on me. The claps started coming through. We all started high-fiving, and that's never happened to me in my entire career. That was a pretty big moment. I think that's one of the things
I
that
feel like you've definitely had the clap before.
Yeah, every now and then some big moments will happen in a series, and you do get excited and you celebrate
Game
with
5.
your casters. And in this
I mean, we're going to get Game 5.
Let's
Every
go.
series
Let's go.
Alliance has played went the distance. It's not going to change here. I think if they play their game, they don't make huge mistakes, they're going to crush Nip here.
Hey, there's a very real chance for Game 5 here, but everybody make sure that you do look your best. We may be taking pictures. We may actually see the entire series end. Here, we may see NIP close it out. There is that potential. So I want to see all of your smiling faces look their prettiest if this is going to be the final game. And then if not, we will see you in Game 5. We're going to jump down to the casters and see what this game has in store.
I'm sorry, can we transition back? I want to see the stroke of the mustache. Of the mustache.
I'm smiling. I'll give you a smiling face, Rich.
Yeah, I just want to give you a
Is
high.
that good enough,
Oh,
Rich?
no.
Okay, can we get into the game,
Yeah,
please?
yeah. Remember, everybody, we're here for Dota. This is a grand final. We take these things very, very seriously. The drafts end, the panel were leaning a long way to a Game 5 with Alliance playing it well. They can get through this, but it does feel like NIP have a lot of strength in their lanes.
Kyle has this charisma where he can poison lesser minds, such as Nahaz, and win them over to his side. But you got to look a little further.
You know how
than
he
that.
does it? It's just like, I've got poetry, I've got an interesting fact, or you know what I've got?
Let me tell you about a book I read this weekend. And this quote will somehow have a reference and relevance to this game. No. So the thing that I definitely agree with is you look at Alliance's lineup and it has a lot of fighting potential. It has this strong mid game. And I am personally not a big Anti-Mage fan, but I should say if NIP get the right lanes here, they win both side lanes. StarLadder is not good against Lone Druid.
We could talk about what the right lanes are in a second, because the initiation's already started over on PPD. The Inkswell's going to be a guaranteed stun. Combining with a spin, PPD. He's got Miscoil. He's going to look for the denial, and he actually gives life to Suxa. And here's already Max. So, yeah, denied up.
The thing that's important here is that the Anti-Mage gets to ideally lane against, well, this trial lane is strong though, since it's not a core Sanking, because that matchup is really good for Anti-Mage laning against Sanking, but when it's a 4, let's think. So Lone is good against StarLadder. StarLadder's going mid, and I think NIP have the right read because they saw Storm's items, so they're assuming that this is not a mid Storm. They're starting to swap around.
StarLadder's moving.
They're both moving.
So Storm's going mid. Fada is in between
I
lanes.
think they're going to swap again. The Bear is trying to find Quickfa. Now that it finds him, they're going to swap again. I'm pretty sure Fata will run to mid.
Okay, so just recap for me.
All right, they're running
Guaranteed the
again.
lanes that you want to have if you are NIP right now.
You want to have Lone Druid against StarLadder, you want to have Ember against Storm, and you want to have Tri versus Tri lane where your Anti-Mage can farm, and if he gets to drain the mana of Jugger and Sand King over an extended period of time in this lane, he will be able to just farm.
Okay.
He has really good protection from both the Rubik and the Abaddon to get his farm, and there you go.
Yeah.
If you can accomplish all these things, NIP's laning stage can look really good and give them the tempo they need to make it a good AM game.
Box, he's already
However,
moving. He could have waited around a little bit longer and taken some farm or taken some levels, but instead he's just like taunting. He's like, all right, let the rotations begin, everybody. We're playing musical chairs again in this grand final. While Tiger gets the Pyro Strike off, the throw back with the Inkswell. He's in range of PPD, but no one else can really battle here. In fact, it's Ace who has to move forward to battle against Tiger. Mickey with spin up and running and a double creep wave with them. They can't get anything else. They've used all their control factors.
Abaddon is so stupidly good for lanes like this. He can just play the healing economy. He can spam heals on Ace. Whenever he runs out of resources, kill himself with the Mist Coil, come back to lane with resources again, and Ace will be able to get CS. And the reason this lane is fine for Alliance for now is Ace skilled Blink level 1 to get the rune. But now that he is approaching level 2, the mana break will become a problem. And I actually foresee NIP eventually winning this lane just on flat-out resources. Alliance did manage to ensure that they get the StarLadder against Ember, but considering Ember is a full level ahead of the StarLadder, I don't know if StarLadder can dominate the lane as much as he wants to.
It's a creep wave of experience ahead as well. Like, it's just so much. I mean, not experience, with gold. Oh, wow, okay, there's one way to turn around. Boxy just goes ham.
All right, well.
Killing Fada under a tier 1 tower, and he flops like a fish back to his own side.
That'll do it. It was...
Balance has been changed.
It was a head start for Ember. Now it's not looking so good anymore. He's still going to go back to mid, though. They will not swap the lanes around here.
Especially considering he used his TP to get there, so
yeah,
no walking. You need to get back fast anyway.
They probably anticipated that if they are, there's no value in swapping because the enemy team also have their TP. So he's just going to go straight back to mid, get more experience. There were more creeps for him here. And 33 should be winning bottom lane. He's playing Lone Druid against...
Pick him up. Oh, he's already dead. There was no way for that stun to ever come to fruition. So goodbye Insania on the top lane. That gets NIP on the board with 1 kill.
And that's already a good start for the Anti-Mage, so that is 1 box checked for now. That's a hero you definitely want to not get slowed down. It's a very momentum-based pick that needs to ride high on that net worth chart.
We're going again.
It's flopping around.
This taunt will never end.
It's important for Fata to try to re-establish the... He needs to get the creep wave up on his hill if possible. Boxy's just going to keep charging up 3 stacks of Bash, and then he can go hit Fata whenever he wants. He's just going to deny with 3 stacks of Bash ready. Eventually we'll take a CS now, so resetting the counter. But that's the one lane for me that looks really good for Alliance right now. The top lane is fine for now, but they're not winning it, per se. And bottom lane, they will absolutely lose over time. This is a safe lane Lone Druid against off lane Storm. Koikva is starting to run out of resources. He will send down a Soul Ring and a Clarity to start to continue cutting waves against Lone Druid. And what you will probably see 33 do here is after this wave, he's going to start pulling the enemy creep wave into the hard camp and farm both the wave and the camp, thereby surpassing Koikva's efficiency.
This top lane's actually getting a little rougher after you said it was going well, Mickey. He's having to actually get mangoes, he's burning cells, because he's coming closer towards the anti-bait, so things are getting a little harder.
It's just the economy, right? It's the Abaddon factor.
Well,
this could be good.
Spin. Saxa having a hard time getting away. Tiger's already used his stun, and they do have 1 last attack in from Mickey that's able to reach.
Bit out of position there. PPD was not in range to help, so Saxa played that a bit too aggressively. I think Peter was trying to prevent the Dire side from pulling.
You know that that little pull that Koikva was meant to do. 33 is kind of having something to say about that, and he can actually. Oh, he gets the root as well. Not just something to say about it. He actually puts Storm down.
This is really, really miserable for Storm. He can't come back to this. He has to cut or jungle. He can't play the lane. It's not possible. The win in mid is also minimal. He got a solo kill with Boxy against this Ember, but Fata's net worth is only 200 lower. It's not a big win whatsoever, and the experience is also even, so...
Oh, that's a nice sandstorm. On top of the 5-minute bounty rune,
damage.
Even getting a slow on the PPD. Insania actually gives him the ink swell, allowing Mickey just to come in with his own spin. PPD a little bit too early on the denial miss coil.
Good play from Boxy. He canceled his attack animation, so he baited PPD to throw out. The missed coil. Oh, Koikva's in trouble again. He needs to not get double rooted here. It's off cooldown. Oh my
he
god!
Got double rooted. Oh. Don't say it, Sid, or else it happens. Hey, can you say I've
Dude, if I had that power...
Have you found the genie of the lamp?
Oh my god.
No, sorry, you found Will Smith. No, not Will Smith.
Koikva's been there way too many times himself. He knows that this can happen, but man, it sucks. Being on the other side of that is no fun. And, well,
he has to walk. His TP's on cooldown. He actually has to walk, and he's walking to mid. He's had enough of bottom lane.
To cover the gravity of the situation, this is a 6th net worth Storm Spirit that has a Soul Ring as half his net worth. So he will have such a steep recovery curve before he really gets back into the game, and he's just done. He doesn't want to lane bottom anymore. He's giving it to Taiga Sand King. And this, in turn, means that Anti-Mage will have a total free time top because, well, guess what? Now they're 3-on-2 up here. So NIP are winning big time on the laning situation, and this bottom tower is now under siege by a siege creep as well as the bear. He has a resummon on it too. 33 can do serious damage here. No glyph for him as it looks.
Yep, and Tiger can't do much to stop him because he goes inside the sandstorm, but the Savage Roar makes him run back out of it, so he can't even just stay there safely. If he does get rooted up, then... I'm sorry, Tiger. I didn't mean it. You go into the side of the sandstorm once again. Spyro strike forward. Now Storm.
This is
Revenge
important.
is a dish best serve with 33's head on a mounted on a wall. Then again, there's still a lot of life to get through. Ball lightning in, and 33. A quick savage draw. No, the root is there. 33. No, he came back over.
Huge kill. He resummoned his bear to deal damage to the tower. So this is a minute and a half without a bear.
Now Kiev can play the lane.
Kark was back in the game now. That was actually super important. He got the level 6 and immediately went for the play. That was the perfect decision making there. They even find a kill top.
Yep. That was
Very
just
nice.
a nice chase down by Mickey. Made sure the Ink Swell was going to actually get the kill. That's why Insania claimed it.
Rubik TP'd bottom. There's so many creeps down here. So Saksa will be taking up this space while Lone Druid probably is going to walk out to a lane. No, he's going to just TP mid and farm there for a bit. As Fata has now hit level 6, maybe he will try to make an active move. Bottle refill from PPD. It failed.
Oops.
Because Fata had it backpacked before, I think. Whoops. If he sees Kork right now, he would be killing him, but he doesn't know he's there. So he's fine. And that was actually huge for Alliance, what just happened in the last minute and a half. That was crucial.
It's
Now
changed,
they've
it's changed
stabilized
the balance of the lanes, right? Like we were talking, like NIP is able to potentially win every single lane if every lane goes their way. And it started to actually happen for NIP, like until the StarLadder gets a kill in mid, and then the change up on bottom with just the fact that Storm Spirit just has to bounce out of jungle. He was already farming nicely and recovering on that net worth. He's definitely not in the top 2. That belongs to NIP by a decent margin, but catching up same level as the Ember, or at least same gold as the Ember.
The kill on the Lone Druid was like 2 kills because he doesn't have the bear. So he's like been dead for a full minute by now. So that was actually just... That was so important. I can't
Ace.
overstate how important that was.
Oh, wow. Ace. Shields, as well as Miss Coil. Whenever there's an Abaddon behind you, you're going to be okay.
Something to keep in mind about this anti-mage against Sanking matchup is how much it's changed over time. In the past, Sanking was actually a decent hero against anti-mage because of the instant stun, but now, if you see it coming, you can counterspell, and on top of that, you're extremely good against him in lane. That's nothing new, though, because of the mana break. In addition, AM with the level 20 taunt, with the blink cooldown reduction, it's way easier to create distance and get away from Sand King in fights when you get both the blink cast range and cooldown talents, which are the most popular ones by quite a margin for pro players on anti-mage. So
The jump in, Searing Chain, Sparta's rotated up towards the top, the Inkswell's over on Insania defensively, a mass spirit committal from Fata forward. Insania has already died, but they want to see if they can look for a little bit more. Mickey underneath the tower, Fata was at least make Mickey understand who owns this top lane. NIP.
the fire boss. And it's time to get ready for bounty runes. Mickey is pressuring here. I think he could have actually killed PPD there by using his 21 and then using a spin, or it would have been close, but actually, no, it wouldn't have been a kill at all. Why are you saying such a thing, Toby? That makes no sense. It wasn't even close.
Hey, for once it's not me.
Kyle! Runes in 15 seconds. What is the play going to be? NIP could group up top and try to fight for these 2 top runes. It looks to be the play.
They're sending the bear to the bottom rune, so there's at least some level of contest against
Oh, he'll
this.
get that one. He can get both. Oh, he could get both. Nice fear.
Tiger's going to get the top one, and yeah, they're actually going to get 3 for 1. Abaddon's in a little bit more trouble. The Searing Chain's catching 2. Ace was jumping. PPD, he gets the shield off in time. Plus the charges, but Mickey, he's not done just yet. Koifer jumping in the vortex. Oh, I'm not quite certain who that's on. As, well, ball lighting, long way under the tier 1 tower. Koifer spent all of his mana to get into this one while the crush and amplification's there. Finally, they bring down Ace, as well as PPD. Boxy cannot get the kill on Afada, spirited away to safety, but this Rubik in the back lines got the ward.
It did cost them a mid tower, which 33 is going to be very happy to get. But Alliance still with it. Overall, a pretty good trade, except that that tower is obviously, as always, very important. With the circumstances that they had, this was probably the best they were going to get out of
That's going to force
this
the tier 1 tower on bottom lane as well.
Yep.
Like, it's going to take a while for Alliance to get down there, so they have to fortify up. Thanks to the fact that tier 1 tower died in mid, it has been refreshed. And they're TPing over.
Koifer smoked.
He is.
They want to get this bear. We already saw Taiga. I think he senses that something's up here.
4 heroes coming to bottom lane for Alliance. Okay, man, they've peeled one off.
He could get caught here.
No.
Oh, he switched form just in time. This is important. This extra 300 health could keep him alive.
Can support rotate in time. Insania's moving over, the bear's off to the side. One quick savage draw. Here comes your TP support in the form of the Rubik. But 33, the bear just turns and he roots up. Then that damage. Insania! Oh, he was meant to be a hero. He was just food. Okay, spin, turn, PPD. Borrow time's already been burnt. Stick charge to give him a little bit more life, and he denies himself as well. Oh, there's nothing you can do about it. Your damage is consistent.
Yep.
And now the tier 1 tower is being pressured down. This is catapult wave. 33 will claim the tower with the bear. They even fortify to ensure that everything remains up. StarLadder Fist gets to dodge the crush. The regen rune top. Instantly Ember jumps for it.
And you would imagine the next play for NIP is to get their Lone Druid top and start banging on that tower. He has the TP ready on his hero, so could summon the bear up there as the rotation coming in. This would mean Ace has to find somewhere else to go. The immediate ping comes out from Mika. Okay, Lone is top, guys. Either we're going to fight this guy or we're going to lose the tower. What's the play? They get plenty of prep time at least because they see the rotation this early with their creep wave, so they get time to talk about are we going to address this or not.
But Mika,
for now, it looks kind of like they want to try to defend.
Here's a TP coming in.
Okay, now it looks very much like they want to try to defend.
Yeah, but there's only 3 heroes ready to fight. The Blink Daggers
Kog'Maw has
arrive for
TP.
the StarLadder. So, well, Pyro Strike already starts it off over on the Anti-Mage. He'll blink away to safety. 33's bears in there, but they find PPD with the Inkswell stun. Already PPD having that borrowed time, giving a little bit more life back. They're definitely in position to defend the tier 1 tower.
Kog'Maw didn't TP. That's the good news for Alliance, was that they didn't rotate too early. They were hoping to start a good fight, and then Kog'Maw could connect if necessary.
Well, he's just
very important to
he's just got
keep
the
the
Kaya,
resources flowing.
but the Curry needs to bring it out.
Yep.
McKay does not want to get rooted here. He's just trying to back up. Nice crush in the back line. The Blink Dagger from Box. He really catches him by surprise, and there'll be a very dead quick PPD. Rubik can steal Sandstorm and try and stay in the back of this fight area, but the Omnislash, they saw him. The Sentry Wall was planted down, so they got full vision. There's now Fada and 33. They're in way too deep. Fada being Vortex back up again, but they're rooted up, trying to get Kuiper out to safety. He's got enough mana to ball Lightning away.
This bear is owning. It does so much damage in these fights. Mask of Madness and then Medallion on the hero. 33 is going for his patented build straight into the Solar Crest.
And they'll take the top tower now. So with all that fight that Alliance has put into it, the result is still going to be the same thing NIP came here to do.
At least Anti-Mage is still slowed down a little bit, but it's mainly on the XP. His gold is fine, but he's 2.5 levels behind Jugger.
Does it matter if Anti-Mage gets slowed down? Considering 33 is going to start taking down buildings anyway. Like he's your pusher. Like as long as he creates space, the Anti-Mage can catch up.
Yeah, I think at this point it's a given that the Anti-Mage will get a game.
Nice entry.
Oh, he's going to have to run out of Sandstorm. So Smoke Insania here. He'll give that away with a nuke.
Another, like, a little bit further back in the tree lines. They're wrapping around below. And there's your Blink forward, the double crush. But then again, PPD gets a lot of that life back again. A quick Sentry Wall being planted down. They cannot let Tusker sit himself inside of that Sandstorm as they go again. Spirit shoving forward. Fada dodging as much damage as they can. Box, he still needs to die because Rubik has had a die back. Sucks falling to that one. 33 gonna lose his bear, and then PPD next target. No borrowed time available, and that's a fresh bear up. 33 does not want to lose this, so maybe it is an inevitable result. The tier 1 tower remains alive, and Ace gets more farm, and one day this caster will learn to say that man's name correctly.
That's a good hold. It's a good hold. It did cost them quite a bit though, but absolutely well worth it. Oh, Ace being cheeky.
I love it, Ace. I absolutely love it.
He got how many? Did they get all? Oh, they got 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Got 3 runes here for NIP.
33 is coming back to finish what he started a couple of minutes ago. That tier 1 tower, but fortification being expanded once more. And the last 3 sets of bounty runes has been a 3-1 trade-off in favor of NIP. And with the tower falling down, they push that advantage to 1,000 gold.
That's a battlefield for AM. 15 minutes. His levels are really weak, but he still has very competitive farm.
You can actually see where the money is coming from, though. Like you're 1,000 gold in front, but you're 3 towers in front as NIP.
It's a lot of tower gold. He's got a kill. They've got the bounty runes like you talked about, 3 for 1, 3 times in a row. And all those little things, they add up. And suddenly, you have a Battle Fury. And yeah, your experience is not even close to that of the Juggernaut. He's 2.5 levels ahead of you, but you can catch up because you're the faster farmer. So the experience should start leveling out eventually. At least if it continues at this rate and Alliance don't manage to put some pressure on the towers.
Inkswell start again on the Anti-Mage and gets the early bash. He had it prepared.
Nice
and Anti-Mage is dead for 32 seconds.
That's a big kill.
Well, they find a rebuttal, which will be the SK farming up in the jungle, but bought his Blink Dagger before death.
Yep. Good. It seems like Tiger just finds this Blink Dagger around the same time every game, whether he's tanking or shaker. It's that 15-16 minute mark. He manages to land the item. But that AM kill's big. I think at this point, If you want to farm dangerous spots like the mid lane, he needs the Abaddon to cover him.
Storm Spirit,
Long
long jump. Source Oxa ready to go. Midcake's moving over just to watch what's happening. And a dire observer board knowing that no one else was there from NIP, at least on the northern side of that mid lane to help him. And they're hovering around Roshan, but that's because they found an opening as PPD. He'll instantly shield off. And he kind of missed. But they stay with him. Following stun.
Such a long stun.
Oh, they just silence him as well. It's just there's no follow-up. Mickey still trying to take the tier 1 tower while Koifa jumping in deeper, looking for the Ember Spirit. Mickey does not want to get rid of it, but he'll get the tier 1 tower and then Savage Roar. He'll run away, but that's the direction Mickey wanted to go anyway. And even sniping the Radiant Courier that had a full Yules as well as the boots on it.
Oh, wow. That is so big.
That was Fada's Yules too.
Yep.
That's his control, that's his escape, that's his something.
And they need these items to keep creating space for the anti-mage, so that's a very, very big pick-off there on the Courier. Things are going to slow down even more now for NIP because they're liking that item. It's very difficult to play Ember in this game without 3k net worth. It's just gone for now.
But so Ace is still Battle Fury farming, so
he is.
That's his happy point. That's his happy place.
He is, but he needs to stay mobile to farm, and Abaddon can't keep up with Anti-Mage's movement. If you want to farm effectively, you can't be protected the whole time. And that means there will be moments of opportunity for this Storm and StarLadder to just murder him 100-0 in a stun. If there's a primed bash and he blinks in, bashes, stuns, puts Amplify, and Storm jumps, he dies. Anti-Mage has no health yet. He has very little armor relative to, you know, other carries at this point. That's actually not really true, but most heroes have very little armor when they get amplified.
That was a Kyle fact right there.
When they get hazed, he'll have -4. That is not a Kyle fact.
It's because hazed. It's damage amplification.
It's called corrosive haze. I didn't come up with a name.
Neither did I.
Did you like amplify damage?
Didn't they change it because they they were too obvious, the names of the abilities for StarLadder? Sprint was sprint. Bash was bash. Amp was amp.
Yeah.
It's like this fish is too.
I kind of liked amplify damage as a spell name. It's what it is.
It is very, yeah.
Corrosive haze.
See it, say it, do it. Koifa looking towards mid. Fada quickly roots him up with the Searing Chains. PPD's nearby. You'll Scepter a bit of a pain in the butt to get rid of that Flame Guard.
Yep.
The saving grace of an Ember Spirit most of the time.
That is also the defensive item for him against the Chains later. That's the one key threat for the Storm. So he will have a relatively free game for a bit until Anti-Mage becomes a problem. So, yeah, I mean, so far, NIP made some good adjustments in the laning stage to equalize or even get a slight advantage, but Alliance have since then got a couple of big moves in that are putting them in a good position, and they're taking such an aggressive stance on the map. That's the problem NIP are facing. These aggressive wards on the left side of the map from Alliance will pay dividends. They're going to find key kills unless NIP have perfect positioning or awareness that they are indeed placed.
I think they actually just pinged the Southern Dire Observer ward. It was only because they saw the way the StarLadder moved underneath the Radiant Orbs.
Oh, they're going to get bounty runes here. Yeah. StarLadder.
There's TP's coming over.
Late.
He'll get the crush.
It's too late.
Yep. 33 claims over the bear, but the 2 bounty runes on bottom will go the way of Alliance.
Yep.
So this is the first 2/2 trade-off in bounty runes in the game.
I think so.
Actually, maybe apart from the first.
Courier's back. Courier is back. So that's a Yules coming out. It's a Yasha coming out. It's a book for Peter, so he can learn how to suicide better with Mist Coil. And
it's a hard thing to learn.
He's got Sentry on him, so it seems like he has no read on these 2 aggressive observers that Alliance have had for 4 minutes now in this top half of the map.
Oh, Ace.
It's just giving them so much info. He could have died to an Omnislash there, I think.
Maybe. It's like, where's my shields? Where's my counterspell?
Gotta be careful.
33's being wrapped around on.
But given how good of vision Alliance has there.
Jumping.
He
has no detection, so that's not happening.
I'm surprised Alliance aren't finding better openings. They have sick vision right now, and they're just not finding picks.
The longer this game goes on, too, the better it is for NIP, right? Like, Alliance need to add more pressure.
They don't necessarily need to add more pressure, but I would like them to do it when they have this good wards. Find some sort of a pick. They're still in a good position in the game for sure, but can always turn with Anti-Mage getting a Manta style eventually.
Tiger, Fire Strike, a little bit too short, pick up and go drag him back underneath that tier 2 tower to try and bring down the SK while PPD will have the Burrow time to run out. Tiger will not have that same luxury as 33's Bear. It now wants to fight. They're looking for a target. The Inkswell's already up. Fada jumps in. A huge sleight of fist steering chains, holding them all together. And maybe with the burrow strike forward, it's actually, yep, it sucks. He stole it. They just pick him up and throw him back down again. 33 just roars them away, and then the root, they're just going to keep chaining this up. Now your epicenter will arrive, as well as Koifa. Ace protected by the spell shield. He'll blink himself away. PPD, the only one to die so far, but 33 is the next on the menu. He is running around trying to juke out the movements of Koifa. Sleight of fist and searing chains will do as much as it possibly can, but Lone Druid will still die, having the spree of his being ended. And that's what happens when Alliance force it, but they didn't kill Ace. That was the bigger one, but if they can take Roshan, it'll be worth it for Alliance with the buybacks.
Yeah, it's worth it for sure if they manage to secure this. Lone Druid could buy back and summon a bear right now, but he doesn't have TP, so he can't get to the shrine. And I think Alliance with this corrosive haze will be able to kill off Roshan easily in time.
Doesn't need to have the posh English accent.
Yep, they got it. They're going to give the Aegis to Storm.
It's called Haas.
Most likely. There you go. This bear is no joke. I think identifying that they can jump and kill the Lone Druid there was a good call from Alliance. The bear is actually causing massive problems. It deals so much damage in these slight chains from Fata. And
I'm waiting actually for Anti-Mage to have a little bit more confidence on that bottom half of the map, especially his own jungle. The Dire Observe wards were obviously there as well as Alliance, but no one's going to pick up that 20-minute bounty rune that's still sitting there. And I think Mikke may finally take care of it.
Like, oh, interesting.
Money?
He saw it.
Did he?
He saw it.
He did? 4-man
I mean,
smoke
he
up.
did a vision. He didn't realize, maybe.
And IP's moving north, looking for a fight underneath their own tier 1 tower, being attacked. It's Koifa. They need that initial control, however. And to get through, Yule Scepter didn't actually hit on the roost, but the pick up and the follow-up barrier strike.
They could kill him again. They have slight chains and fear. He's actually dead twice, I think.
Support's nearby. Tiger, the side of fist actually connecting on him. He can't just move forward. Everyone's grouped up for the barrier strike, but I don't think he wanted to be there. Yule's up, and then another perfect barrier strike.
Even worse.
That is an accurate assessment, Syndra.
So bad, lol. Rich has had an influence on us all, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Except
maybe I take back my Rich to TI9, or else like TI9, welcome to China, everybody. We have now just like devolved.
You've stayed resistant to Rich's charm, but he's slowly. Remember what I said about the weaker minds and how Kyle can win them over with charisma? That's how Rich works on me. He's really smart.
No. He just hits a whole new level. You just don't expect it. Well, that's Peter's a bit of a problem for Abaddon.
Nope,
he doesn't have to borrow time. Okay.
Wait, what?
Zuxa, out of barrier strike away, shield him back up again. They just was split between two different targets. Alliance now Fada can work against Boxy, trying to control him, but Koifa finish the job, but no, the spin. He goes into the trees. Zuxa's going to survive. He's actually dodging Koifa's jump left, right, and center, and PPD's giving him all the life available. You've already lost Insania. The Omnisci's totally wasted as well. Ace was inside of it as well. He didn't have to worry about anything. The bear, now it's time to root. Mikke, it's time to spin. Get the hell out of there.
He will get the hell out of there. But again, man, Alliance are dropping the ball a little bit here. I think the communication in that fight was a little bit, it was lackluster. Peter has no ulti, and they got him low enough to know that there's no borrowed time there. But they don't finish the kill. They immediately jump over, try to connect on the Rubik, but because they didn't kill the Abaddon saves Rubik. And NIP managed to get out unscathed, and they get the kill.
All 4
on
bounty
Insania,
runes.
and they get 4 runes now too.
They actually TP'd the bear down a bottom lane as well as a hero, and the bear did the hard run. It's like, maybe they may come to contest it. So nothing is being risked by NIP. 33 is just everywhere on this map, and bears are a problem, but Anti-Mage is still growing with every minute that passes, and he's already finished the Manta style. That's a problem for the Storm Spirit. Butterfly is next on this list. And a 4-man smoke up. NIP, they want more, but all of Alliance are down on the south. They'll have to head there if they want to get a kill.
I'm surprised if he goes for the Sputter. I think Scotty might be a better choice right now. You need some raw HP and a bit of armor. Sure, the evasion is good, but his HP pool is still so low that if he gets jumped, he can still get blown up if he goes for Butter first. We'll see how it works out for him.
Watch the trees. Watch the trees. Scan still available for the Radiant side. Koifa right on top of the secret shop. They're checking high. Are they going to scan? Are they going to have a look?
That would be pretty
Zuxa is right next to him. He's already starting to spin. It's like, I feel something is wrong. Koifa, Ball Lightning's down underneath the tier 1 tower. A very long way and TP out. The one target that if you can see him coming, they will not get.
AM keeps getting space. Mickey and him actually run
hi,
straight
Peter.
past each other.
Well, borrow time will come in. Ace already putting the spell
Long
shield on just in
stun.
case the SK want to jump on him, and PPD's going nowhere.
Man, sometimes you really underestimate how long this Inkswell stun is. It's 3.7 seconds max stun. That is so long. It's what you know how it feels like when you're stunned by Rubik who stole a stun. You're like, man, this stun lasts forever. That's level 3 Inkswell. If Rubik has level 3 Inkswell, it stuns for more than 5 seconds.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's a long time.
Radiant structures.
Well, they found him.
backstab.
He didn't see him coming. The fear, he can't do anything about it. He just has to stand there and die.
Oh, they cancelled the TP. Boxy, if Boxy had continued running, he might have actually found the anti-mage there, but...
McKay, he doesn't have TP yet. It's 5 seconds on cooldown. He's making a break for the tree line. The Sleight of Fist does not connect, which means they know he went down south. PPD's looking for him. McKay begins the TP. Is there a stun? Is there anything? There is not. He is gone.
If they would have found him there, they could have cancelled his TP out with Mana Void, but...
Interesting defensive item to come in from the Emma Spirit. So the Lotus Orb to go with the Yule Scepter.
That's very much defensive utility, but of course a fantastic item against StarLadder. Until StarLadder hits level 25, at which point it's kind of useless because then it becomes undispellable, the corrosive haze. So...
God, I'm not even English and I have an issue with that. Mid lane, they get the ensnare off. StarLadder, well, dispel this. Tries to run away, but Mana Void.
He has a
They need to
gem.
close the
He
distance.
can't
Yule
die
Scepter up
here.
into the air, and he will die. 52
no.
seconds on the sideline. Tiger tried to save his life, and they may think about jumping a little bit deeper, but they won't.
That was sexy, actually. That was really good. He blinked, Sandstorm insta took the gem and stunned away, and kept the gem
Nice.
in Alliance's inventories. Okay, there goes Butterfly for Jugger. Mickey is really fat. Like, he has a lot of items this game, but Alliance are just not making the moves click.
Like,
So NIP
you
are
need to have the
getting through
control for Juggernaut to do the damage, right?
Exactly. They're getting through this dangerous stage of the game because Alliance aren't successfully connecting stuns next to Jugger. We had one play on PPD recently with the Grimstroke, so at least they got it, but I just haven't seen this tag team play coming from Sand King Jugger or StarLadder Jugger like I would have liked to see a bit more in this game. They've secured Mickey a lot of farm, and I think now it's time to put it to use because with Storm's tempo falling off as hard as it has and the item build that Koikva is going for, I think the time you're looking at before the Storm feels confident again, he needs another at least one more item after the Bloodstone. He needs a BKB or Linken's because AM he's getting there.
And you actually can see with the graph too, like just how he was pretty much on the average and now it's just started to drop off. And Koikva's had these heroes which have been such great momentum snowballers, like time and time again for Alliance is what helped get them to this position. But if he can't have that momentum and Anti-Mage continues to just counter him and later in the game, you'll have no items to battle. And Alliance, like, what's the play then? Like, where do you go? Boxy is hunting. There's a 4-man smoke up. There is the Dire Observer and Sentry.
Oh, this
they
could
see
be
Ace
really good.
farming, but Fada is right behind him. Remember, they've got the Lotus Orbs. They've got the defensive items. And they've got PPD. Who wants PPD? They don't want to kill him. They need a real hero.
Okay.
Dire are scanning.
Equality for heroes, please.
It's,
Okay, they're going to get.
we
at least
know
the
he's just
boundaries.
going to deny himself.
I like this smoke from Alliance. I just think it came a little bit too late and it made it too obvious. They disappeared from all waves for a good 5 or 10 seconds while the wave was in the river mid. And the fact that they're not showing anyone
don't
is
do it,
kind of a
Peter.
giveaway for NIP to back out.
Okay, do it, Peter. Just waiting for StarLadder to jump him. Thought he was going to use the regen rune as a bait. But they're coming mid. Peter hangs on the hillside. It's a nice Sleight of Fist Searing Chain. Just showing and making Alliance worried that people are behind them. But that's why Boxy moves over.
They don't have the best way of getting rid of the healing ward. They can send in the bear, but he needs to be in the leash range.
Okay, Sleight of Fist, Root. Fear him up as well, force Mickey to run a little bit further away, but they need to keep following up with some level of damage. Mickey will go into the spin. Ace actually blinking aggressively forward.
He's next to PPD, so he knows he can get saved. And
The
there's
Bear's
also
watching the
Lotus Orb.
back line, just cancelling the blink dagger, the counter initiation by just staying close, but now Boxy finally gets to jump forward by getting the Soul Mine together.
Got this
Stump and
bear!
the epicenter for the double stump, and the Bear's doing the work. They've already got the kill over on Grimstroke, and the Spirit jump forward. Alliance are all clustered together. An Omni Slash. Wait it out. They waited it out. Anyone got a root? Anyone got a bash? Anyone got a stun? Anyone got enough damage? Anyone's got nothing.
Wow.
Juggernaut spins and gets all the way home. And there's still Alliance lose 3. Nip lose nothing.
I keep getting surprised by how fast this bear is killing stuff. It's 4-shot Insania. in that fight, and he wasn't even minus armored or anything. 33 is just taking a hero out of the fight every time on his own, and if the rest of NIP stay alive and keep in good distance to, or keep in the right distance to the Abaddon so he can protect them, those fights, they're not that hard right now.
And now they take Roshan.
They take Rosh, they
Ace
steal
just finished Butterfly as well.
They got the gem, they got 3 kills.
They're going to get closer and closer to Assault Cuirass for 33. They got a cheese. Someone didn't remember to pick that up.
Well, look at the win graph now, boys. Finally, it's crossing. Gaben's been here before. He knows.
How is this only 50%? It's 51-49 right now.
It's because Antimage doesn't win games. But now, now the conditions, the stars are aligning. Ace.
Oh, they see Tiger.
Uh-oh.
Fada.
He doesn't have a
Searing
defensive item.
chains, they just move around him, and that's one very quick death.
no.
Boxy didn't get there in time with the crush. In fact, if he yields it up, Mickey wants to help up, but Rubik picks him up and then throws him back in. Koifa's waiting for the right time. Either that or the second coming. Soul bind them together. Now Koifa jumps across the back lines, and he's only harassing PPD, but PPD, he's still got the borrow time available. Now maybe they find a better target. Aegis model is cracked. They get the kill on Fada. Dead for a long time. Buyback is available, but the bear is iced. There's a bigger crush. StarLadder catching 33 and PPD. Now we understand the 50% a hell of a lot better. Lone Draw's gonna have a hard time running out this one. The gem is dropped and lost. And Ace has already gone back farming. He knows this is a lost cause.
All right.
And Lone Draw is actually dead for a minute now. It's Alliance's turn to start pushing. This feels more like the Alliance games we've had throughout this tournament. It's a swinger game.
NIP just dove behind the tower and got killed by a Sanking buyback. And that's pretty much it. They felt really confident. They had the Aegis, they had the gem. Fata had used both of his defensives already when he got caught by the Grimstroke, by the Phantom's Embrace, so he couldn't get out of it. He got killed during the sounds, and now we're suddenly going the other way, but now...
Force the buyback. Crush buys a little bit of space. Now? Ace protected for the moment. Mickey, he's in deep.
Will anybody please know their limits? Thank you.
Sorry, we don't play like that. Ace jumping in once again. He's really slowed down. Controlled in the epicenter! Tiger arrived at the perfect moment, spilling the damage out. Everyone wants to get a retreat, but you can't retreat from the fresh blood stoned up Koifa. He wants to get everyone on the back lines. Okay, maybe Koifa's gone a little bit too deep. You're on a tier 4 towers, guys. Mickey's got himself a triple kill. Buyback comes in from the anti-mage. Ruby's got one as well. The tier 3 tower is slowly being picked down. Ace is wondering if he's got to fight. Lone Druid's up in 4 seconds. The tier 3 tower is already lost. And Sparta tries to slow down this push, but Mickey is just doing it solo. We said he was big. We didn't realize how big. The Rax is gone. Melee out. Mid as well. They're rotating. Alliance, they want to get more, or at least force another buyback out. It'll only come from the Rubik.
There's a Baron, 15
The
seconds.
jump.
Oh, nice.
Nice sleight of fist, but still the bash from Boxy will be there.
Oh, that buying back sucks, so they want to find exit kills.
Spirit jumping forward. But the
Soul
Soul
Bind.
Bind.
Oh, okay.
Still got the root. StarLadder on the run. Has to trigger the BKB. What do we get stalled? It's going to be sprint. This will allow Sox to close the distance a little bit faster over towards Boxy. He can pick him up now.
Does he have
The
buyback?
immunity has already
He
been
does.
lost as, okay, he'll have buyback available. But the mid-rax is now taken. Juggernaut now hits 22.6k net worth. Alliance take a full lane of mid-rax, an inch closer towards forcing a game 5, but it's still a long way off. And the Bears taking the top rune, so they're going to get all 4 bounty runes NIP.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Alliance technically just won the battle of the mid. Look at the difference in the gold you actually gain.
Yeah, that's actually so much. Shows you how much more Alliance have actually got out of the map. If you subtract those runes, if you take them out of the equation, Alliance would be looking really good right now, but it's a big part of the game. You got to keep control of those runes.
They battle the backdoor regeneration. Fortification up as well.
They're not getting it.
No, they won't. But it's Mickey's going to be here and deny it.
This game really hangs in the balance right now. I think the most important thing to keep track of now is the buybacks. The buyback on the Radiant, they have none. And the Dire only have Slaughter and Grimstroke right now, so... The thing is, NIP don't know this because the only hero who has bought back on the Dire is the Sanking. The other heroes are gold limited. So this is information that they don't have available, so they can't play on it. Oh, Koifa, okay. He missed the wave that he was zipping for, I think. Can happen. At least I think he missed it.
It was all intentional. BKB is now done on the Ember Spirit. Probably not the greatest item that he ever wanted to have to pick up, but he's done it nonetheless. StarLadder also got a Vladimir's. So just looking for that extra aura to help his team sustain them. Boxy's been really on point as well with his own stuns. Just getting up in the face of NIP. Creating that space for Mickey, because that's what they needed to do. They needed to allow the Juggernaut to actually inflict the damage that he's farmed up.
Yeah. Yeah, Mickey has done a really good job this game, honestly. He's played a superb game. Very chaotic circumstances, very weird fights for a large part, but Mickey has been stable in this game. 8-0-10.
Radiant's bottom shroud
Not dying
has
against this
fallen.
Radiant lineup with the type of fights you've had is pretty impressive. It's not that easy. Now with the Basher, his Omni Slash is really scary because he can actually 100 to 0 the AM in an ulti now if he gets lucky. There is the Butterfly, so you need to get pretty lucky.
That's why he's building MKB next.
Yeah. And if we don't talk about the Anti-Mage, it's still, he has so much damage in this Omni Slash that he can definitely kill the Rubik, likely kill the Ember as well. And then it comes down to, will he get the Bash before they get the Euls off? Because there are these defensive Eul Scepters that are very, very important for NIP to use effectively in this game.
It's kind of funny watching the way you know now to play with the NIP lineup, getting the anti-mage in behind the lines, using the illusions to always push out the lanes. He has to play on the side lanes and force Alliance to move from one side of the map to the other, waste the time so Ace can complete up the Skadi. And then NIP need to do something with this time and space he's created, and they're going to 5-man smoke up. Look for their own fight, but vision-wise, all they see is... They see Koifa. That's the only target they've got, but that's a very difficult target.
He's chosen another ward. He just went from ward to ward, and he will actually die here most likely. They just need to catch him with literally anything, and he's dead.
All right, well, what have you got?
He's dead.
You've got Rubik. Pick him up, throw him down, Spirit, and got the kill.
No
85 seconds without buyback. Rubik also stole Ball Lightning, so he's got a long-range initiation. And they're pushing mid. They're going to grab the creep wave in mid.
Oh, their lines are showing. This is actually pretty dangerous. If NIP could find a way to connect over here, they still have the top tier 2 towers.
Oh, the fear! Cancelled him. We have an SK that's cliffed. They know something's wrong. Four staff down. Tiger's on the run, but the Bear's staying with him. Tiger's going to have to Burrow strike down. Just misses the Savage Roar again, but the Spirit jump forward. And Tiger, Ball Lightning, welcome. Sucks into the party. But PPD, hi! He can deny and he can kill.
Man, Alliance had a good position on the map, and now they just lost all control. Koiko died in the middle. Now Tiger dies for very much no reason as well. This extra collateral kill that they end up getting is very impactful, as now they can keep it going. Oh my god, don't tell me another guy's going to get caught out on the same ward.
They're a little bit too far
Literally the same ward Koiko just died on, and Senia is posing under it.
Is this the correct usage of Literary? I think it is.
Just got to be careful.
PPD
Now they're on the other ward.
And
Alliance surely are playing this in a dangerous way. They don't know, obviously, but they're...
Mid lane's going to push in the meantime, so even if this fight happens on bottom, 33 is going to start up on the tier 3 tower, and you see just how much damage this Lone Druid Bear does. The tier 3 tower's already gone. The Bear, they want to get back safely. PPD, shield it.
Shit, dude. How's that balanced?
Man, can you just, like, okay.
How is that balanced, Loda? Tell me.
You know what, I just need to, yeah, ask Loda.
Yeah?
Man, I just gotta, like, put out right now that Valve should be able to add voice lines at will and just have Syndra whispering, shit, dude. Like, just as like a, shit, dude. Like, that's all we need.
Holy shit, Rich.
See?
Yeah.
Why can we only add voice lines at the start of a compendium? Why can we not update with the flow? Patch the compendium.
I
Give
want
us
to
more.
put my own voice lines into the game. Like a...
Storm? Nope. I thought he was going to go for PPD, but never mind. He
Like a
didn't have
workshop
enough mana.
entry. How about that?
A workshop entry? That'll be really cool, Send.
Own voice lines.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I wonder if we've ever had that idea before.
Signatures.
All right, that's the bottom tower.
Bottom tower
It is.
has
And suddenly we're back to 50. Pretty much.
Win rate, that's it.
49.
I actually wonder, like, it's just like, so the graph moves up saying, like, well, they had a 22% chance they would do that. They actually did that, which now makes it a 50% win rate.
That's a graph.
That is a graph.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
Don't worry. I'm just trying to talk through math.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I went full Kyle. You never go full Kyle. That was actually, I think that was actually more of like a 2012 Toby. That's something special right there.
So you take 50 and then you add 20 and then you have 70. It's like magic.
You remember the old debate of like this ability is worth 4,000 gold or something like that. I remember that was going around during like TI3 or TI4. I'm just like, man, like I just cast this ability and all of a sudden I've got like 2 rapiers, which means I got the equivalent of this much gold on my... That was a fun way to calculate Dota.
I'm still recovering. All right.
So, yeah, what do we got? 25. Tell us about 25, Sim. We're starting to reach that area. We're 41 minutes in.
That is true.
Getting us back on track before the smoke from an IP.
Yeah, Ember's already setting up to get Ags. He's 1k gold short and he has the talent already, so that's a big power spike for him. Anti-Mage is closing in on level 25.
Oh, Mickey, not like this.
And well, I think if
so
they jump on
close.
him, they could be a trap.
There's the Rubik. That's such a long grab with the slow down. Then he's trying to help him out by putting the Inkswell on him, but now Storm Spirit. Koifa! No! He's on in. Koifa needs a ball landing out as quickly as he possibly can. He's just around there. If he can get the sun, he doesn't see him in the tree. He's just around the corner.
He didn't have Mana Void ready. He used it on the end. They used everything on the Jugger, and he doesn't have a bash on AM, so there was no way he was going to take the Storm out there. But that's a big kill. I actually thought Alliance were more ready to counterplay that one. They were kind of fishing with
Boxy
the Jugger.
jumps in, able to get the crush. Juggernaut's going to buy back in this one, but Boxy, he dies so quickly, but the epicenter Burrow Strike, he'll do some work. Koifa in, out, and then back around. He doesn't find any kind of target. He's found the bear. That's the main man. They need to bring down 33's bear.
Oh, he's got another one.
Yep, he does.
Mickey can't afford to die.
Oh, the Omni Slash, it's all on 33. They have to get him off him. They're trying to protect him with the Lotus Orb, but the Sun, the control, he's going to go down with no bear. He's got no buyback either. Alliance, they charge forward. Vada, he's got spirits to get himself further away. Saxa, the crush, it comes just in time. Rubik unable to TP away. Silenced up, they'll use him up, and everyone surrounds for the ritual. Wait! He Burrow Strikes so far away. They need to catch up to him. Which way does he go? Glimmer Cave, the dust, that'll reveal. Now they can see him perfectly. Another crush. This time will connect.
Oh,
and now they look towards Roshan. I don't know. It's that pressure. We're under pressure. We're David Bowie.
Under pressure.
Alliance now
true.
Roshan.
Yep. This is crazy. It's expensive. It cost them 2 buybacks. It cost them the Jugger and the StarLadder, but the reward is great. They get Aegis Cheese and they get the Aghanim Scepter on the Storm, but he gave it to Grim. So now they have the Dark Portrait. They can make an AM clone. This clone is insane. I would advise against casting it into Counterspell, though. Then AM should get a Grimstroke clone, which is kind of useless, but then you don't get the AM one.
Just the denial.
Yeah.
All right, well, here come Alliance pushing in through the top lane. They are still, remember, Alliance of 1 lane of ranks up, so the creep wave in the mid is coming quickly. Watch Lone Druid, he'll spawn in 6 seconds time, but the bear won't be up for 30 seconds. He didn't transfer any of his items first. Ember Spirit just trying to get rid of the fortification, keeps Alliance's creep wave alive. PPD, now the jump in, instant bash from Boxy. They already triggered the borrowed time, and PPD shields come up. Rubik is brought back while on bottom lane. Anti-Mage is taking the bottom lane of ranks. We're going for a trade-off at the moment. Well, Mickey, he's focused on this. How fast can you do this, Ace? He's already taken the tier 3 tower. Mickey just being set up in towards the air. If they can cancel the TP's back, one's already coming, and Mickey has TP back to base, so he's ready to fight. Can they catch Mickey on full retreat?
No Healing Ward.
Healing Ward's down. They get the first ever route. Have they got extra support? Jump up, Ace. Spell shields up. Insania did not want to get the copy. That would have been a waste. Burrow Strike from Tiger up towards the hill. Fada able to get the route down again. Now Insania try and bind them towards to get each other, but SK has to buy back into this fight. He's TPing over towards the shrine, trying to get back into this engagement to try and save Mickey and Koifa. They actually pull him back in again. There was the spell shield returning it. Ace gets the Mana Void off. Storm Spirit's down. No buyback for a minute and a half. They just keep going. PPD, the Burrow time's already come back off cooldown. Another Burrow Strike is actually Saska. He's over. Tiger's coming in. He'll come in late with the epicenter, but there's no follow-up damage. The Juggernaut, the Aegis Immortal brings him back, and now the Omni Slash, he bounces through, getting the kill over on 2. Ember's got buyback 2 and may have to use it. In fact, yeah, they're going to burn everything they've got. Tiger's on no life. Vada's able to get the kill. Respawn, back in the engagement, focusing down towards the support. Mickey can do whatever he wants. Ace blinks away on almost no health, while Vada wants to keep battling. Mickey's got a triple kill. He moves his attention towards Vada. This will be a huge kill if he can claim it. It'll be a dieback for him. This bloody illusion of Grimstroke has done so much work, forcing Anti-Mage, forcing Vada back out again. And everything will just simmer down.
Dude, I love when there's a team fight and somebody wins. It's so great. It's so great.
Such a Dixon.
What do you think, Juan?
Out of all of that, I'd say NIP won just for the fact they kept their top lane of Rax alive. And the fact that this actually stays even for the moment.
There were so many details in that fight that went right for NIP.
Hey, maybe we'll get to watch it again so you can pick them apart.
Soxa played an outstanding fight. He got the absolutely crucial Burrow Strike in. They fought into Cheese, Aegis, and this new Aghanims on the Grimstroke, and they arguably won the fight, or at least drew.
And against the copy, like he actually got the copy of the anti-mage, the target he was looking for.
Man.
Well, Ace is coming up.
And the thing that started out, the setup that NIP did with forcing them back with the anti-mage split pushing bottom was what enabled all of this
There's
to
the
happen.
copy.
Yeah,
Ace.
get the hell out of there.
Yeah, he's trying to kill off the portrait. They actually also need to kind of bounce around. Some pressure into the mid lane could work considering Alliance are down a man at the moment. But Ace, he's still continuing on this tier 3 tower. Mickey comes in close. Ace with the spell shield, tries to protect himself. That tier 3 tower is one hit away, but Mickey protected. Just jumps forward a little bit harder. Just, all right, NIP, back off. Leave my tower alone. Oh, Ember. Why? Yeah, Aghanim Scepter or no Aghanim Scepter, that's still a risk.
That reminded me of a ride in a, what's it called? In an amusement park, what he just did there. Not, you can't really do that in real life, okay?
Which ride, Sin?
What's it called?
I don't know.
I don't know,
The
man.
Vomitron, like just like bouncing everywhere.
Man, if I could do what Emperor could do, I would get sick all the time, I'm sure. Well, he got out. It looked cool, but it wasn't really that good. But he got out, so it's all fine.
Yeah.
And now we're stabilizing again. And honestly, now this game is just on a knife's edge. It's about who gets the jump. There are
That looks like
so
a pretty
many
sharp
buybacks
knife.
on cooldown right now. Storm has one, but so does Anti-Mage and Lone Druid. So actually, the buybacks currently favoring, for the first time in a while, NIP.
Actually, yeah, at this
have the
point for the
options.
Observer, it's like we don't even care about net worth anymore. Like, this is it. Like, maybe we look at the levels every now and then. Because we're 48 minutes into the game. Everyone's starting to reach their 25s. Even Rubik as well as Abaddon are going to reach theirs.
Abaddon's 25 is really, really big. If he can... It doesn't look like Peter can get an Ags, but I'm a big fan of the idea of getting Aghanims in the AoE miscoil talent.
There's an
I feel like
Ags
it's
in
super strong.
Roshan.
Yeah, but then... When's it spawning? 3 minutes. Okay. Okay. If they get a Roche and they give the axe to him, I think they will. Fata has his.
Do you actually give it to him, or do you give it to like the Lone Druid?
They might
May
give it
actually
to
be a
Rubik.
nice choice as well, so you can split push a little bit harder.
I think they'll give it to Rubik actually. Because then he doesn't have to buy it.
But if you can just push one lane, and you can get Alliance to look behind themselves, like I don't know, I see Lone Druid as a path to victory here.
It's an alternative win condition for sure, but I think the more stable option might be to give it to the Rubik. Giving it to Abaddon, I think, is only worth it if he gets the AoE miscall talent. That's the primary reason I would say that it's worth it, because it actually does a lot in these kinds of team fights. If it works the way I think it does, where just every miscall fired by the Ags has the AoE, which I think it does.
It does.
Okay.
It does. I've seen it. It does.
It's pretty sick, and these fights are like piled on top of each other. It's heroes piling on top of each other, so the AoE will play a big role compared to the extra health on the Aphotic Shield, in my opinion. But we'll see what Peter decides when he gets there, if he gets there. And what other 25s do we have? Lone Druid's 25, obviously huge.
And the game's over.
Oh man, dude, that was hype, man. I clicked Lone Druid and the music started. Like, wow. Lone Druid.
We're just like we're just preparing ourselves for the late game. Welcome to the grand finals, everybody. We've got WWF introductions. It's Lone Druid.
If he gets 25 on the Lone, the Battle Cry spell immunity is probably what he's going to go for. His bear will hit so damn fast with his attack time talent, but most of the time we see the Battle Cry spell immunity because it's like a free BKB.
Yeah, and that's when you just see the bear split push.
What are the levels on Alliance?
He's actually got a BKB queued up as well.
Grimstroke is
So I
pretty
suppose
far
it's
away.
like double immunities. Like,
Yeah, it's still worth it for sure. So Grimstroke is missing his 25, Sand King is missing his, and Slardar. Slardar's is big. No Corrosive Haze Dispel anymore will be really, really important. Since Alliance have two Yule, or NIP have two Yules and a Lotus.
They found Mickey. They need to be able to see him properly though. And now here they jump in. They get the bashes
He
off.
can't die
With a
here.
spirit jump, he's going to die. He's down for 2 minutes. Buyback
he
is
has
available.
buyback.
Insanium set up towards the air. He's actually getting silenced up himself, and he'll end up falling. Another jump forward, another bash. They have to
just
get
got
rid
it
of the
again.
anti-mage. The painted clone
Man, I feel like that buyback must have come up really recently. A moment ago when we checked, he didn't have it, right?
There's your first buyback. Smoked up from Alliance. They are all inside their base. They need to look to fight. Storm Spirit jumping out needs to get rid of that creep wave quickly, but they've still got the catapults behind it, and they're looking for the jump in. 33, that bear, he'll 5-hit down that Rax if they let him attack. That's where the Lozor's protecting the bear. They pull it back. Ace, he's in very deep. Blinks over, goes for the melee wave. 33's bear took care of the range tracks. StarLadder picked up. He's about to be thrown back down again. Remember, he's the biggest stun. And the full Spirit committal and the fear back. StarLadder's so low. 33 is trying to get it with his bear. Tiger as well, protected by the ghost from Mickey and Koifa working together. Soulbind, 33 and Ace locked together. They both Yule stepped up towards the air.
What?
They actually wait them out like this. That's not what was meant to happen. Now you can Omni Slash. Now you can get your damage in. 33 will end up falling down. Koifa needs to keep the damage in, and they've got it as well. 8 is gone, and now it is layering the SK Epicenter right on top. A double kill for Boxy, a double kill for Koifa. TPD, the sole survivor for NIP. That didn't look right from Alliance, but it worked.
Oh my god, I thought they actually doubled Yule during the Omni Slash, but they didn't.
Omni came after.
I thought I heard the Omni Slash come. I was like, no way, they just ruined that completely. But they didn't. The double Yule just bought time, make it connected, and got them down. And that's 2 buybacks spent. They don't have buyback on Ember for another minute, so he will be able...
Here we go, we watch it
Sox
again.
is getting his now as well.
Actually, this is a little bit later on in the fight. Jump in, Epicenter. Really nice from Tiger as well, just to ensure that NIP do not get out of this one. But a lot of buybacks already been committed by NIP.
Roche is up in 50 seconds. Fata will have buyback for this. If they can somehow get info about Roche and get the vision out, NIP can fight this. If they don't get the information out, they're probably just going to hold Fata's buyback, and that will be another Roche for Alliance.
No, but this is the reason why NIP buy back early, right? They need to push the lanes. They need to get out.
Yeah, but they can't get out without Ember. There's no way they're going to win this fight.
I see a Courier also making a bit of a trek. It's going for the Demon Edge to finish the MKB for Ace. And you're getting sick of missing everything, but there's an Observer and Sentry up from Alliance, so they'll see when it's there. And Storm Spirit, he's in the neighborhood.
There's no way he gets the courier out there. I actually think it's a mistake sending it up here. He should have sent it to the other shop.
Oh, I was going to go at the same time as the
Alliance just sent their courier back from the Roche pit 10 seconds before it's... Okay.
Nah, you got Storm Spirit. All right, Courier, now's your time. The creep waves pass by.
Oh,
they can fortify and buy. Like that's what they can do at least.
There's no way. He should absolutely send it to the other shop. They know Alliance are up here waiting for Roche. So if you want to use that courier...
Roshan just started, NIP is still back at base.
It's going to be another Axe. Refresher.
Yeah, who does the Axe go on this time? SK's Fire Strike's been so totally on point, but it's going to be... Who's got it?
They get the Axe to
StarLadder.
StarLadder. Okay, so he's going to make little cute puddles. Shout out to Admiral Bulldog, obviously watching his team play. He's an expert in puddles. Or in one puddle. It's a meme, Toby. You wouldn't get it. It's fine.
What do you accept this and move on?
What do you do now as Alliance? You have all this advantage. You can try to force high ground, but if you make one mistake in NIP's base, you probably lose the game. They are on defense, and they will have the buyback on the Ember now. They will not have buyback on Rubik. They will not have buyback on Anti-Mage. What about Lone Druid? No gold, also no buyback. Abaddon has. So Abaddon and Ember are the only buybacks on the Radiant.
I like this from Juggernaut. He's actually building it for an Aeon Disc, so once the Aegis is triggered, he'll move the Aeon Disc in. It's very difficult to shut down and control Meke. As he'll move in, Yule Scepter up, the creep wave is pushed into the bottom lane, so the melee Rax is already being attacked, and he'll just spend most of his time up in the air or rooted to the ground. Not exactly what he wants to have happen, and that range Rax, okay, the TP is coming in. They are going to retreat one at least.
Storm doesn't have travels, so he can't connect back to his team.
He doesn't. Well, he can go and buy some now. And that's exactly what happens. Okay. Switch him in. Switches the cheese out. He's just making a whole bunch of spirits. Like, okay, we'll build a spirit wall. They can't get through. 55-minute bounty runes are also spawned. So Alliance should probably grab those when they can. And that advantage of, oh, look at that net worth.
The bear just keeps getting runes for free.
Hey, there you go. What's he getting? What's he getting? The curry. Oh, he's already got everything.
Well, does he want to buy anything?
Mules? Crush? That'll be interesting timing. Don't think Boxy really meant to be exactly where he was, and man, he really is just Puddle Boy.
Lions aren't really making any progress. Now
He's
they're
going
doing
to
a
spin
bid.
and attack the Rax. That's one way to make
Solar
progress,
Crest,
but
good.
he has used a spin a little bit earlier.
That's fine. They can repeat this. That's half a Rax. They can do it again when he has his next spin. Ward instantly taken out.
And Animated Illusions are still pressuring the bottom lane. Mickey's in very, very deep. That Savage Roar made him walk not where he wanted to go. To the root, force a spin once again. The Bear now going to actually just rage himself up, having the protection. Mickey forced up in a little bit deeper to get the Abyssal Blade stun off. They need to kill him off. They cannot do so. Boxy, he jumped in with the puddle, and now Quoifer with the double vortex. Thanks to the Soulbind, hold him in, and the double Burrow Strike as well. We're layering everything in with the cleave. The damage is still not enough. Alliance, they survive through it. They make a copy of the AM, and this will now fight against the cause. The melee Rax has gone down, but Juggernaut's not out just yet. He's still got an Aegis Immortal for another 2 minutes, so he'll spin. He'll take the range Rax. He doesn't care if he dies at the moment. So 2 full lanes of Rax is gone. The stun is up. Double 4-stars helped Mickey get back out to safety. And the bottom mainly Rax wasn't lost. A buyback expended by the Ember, and they don't get anything out of Alliance in return.
Yeah, they still hold both the Aegis and... Do they? Yeah. Okay, Kiev has 2 cheeses. That's good. Backpacking them for now, for later. You never know when you're going to need a little bit of a pocket cheese to pull out.
Yeah, I like some cheddar.
I'm not sure why he has 2 cheeses, but, you know, it's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just got to get it. Got to get that cheese. It's a great fight from Alliance.
BKB?
Honestly, like when these spells just got cast on top of each other, I had no idea who was winning. Like that fight looked like a complete mess. Like everything was just flying around, jumping around. I think there might have been a Lotus Orb Omnislash as well in there. Somehow, it was hard to see anything. So, being the players in that situation, you're just crossing your fingers, hope they're dying.
Hey, remember, it's like,
and they did.
Warcraft 3 when we had all the auras from Shiva's God and Assault Cuirass, you really, literally couldn't see crap.
Yeah, I really think Ember should be buying an Aeon disc right now.
Well, the Juggernaut's got one at least.
Yep.
The BKB was actually bought, then unbought, now rebought by the Anti-Mage. So you'll have that immunity for the fight. And Mickey, once again, he's the target. Watch the Aegis Immortal timer. 1 minute left on it. So when the clock hits 58:39, it will be gone.
This is only a 70.
Jump in. They found the back line. The Grimstroke. They had to remove, and they couldn't have any more doubles. And now, well, is there going to be an Omnislash? Is there going to be something? They're up and towards the air. The Lotus Orb helping protect the Ember Spirit for the moment as PPD stands there saying, please hit me. I need some life back again. Thank you, Boxy. He's hit him twice. Gives him the life. Savage Roar from 33. Set me up. Epicenter. Ace 1 interrupted. It won't happen. The Burrow Strike from Tiger. He's all over him like a hot rash. 2 down for NIP. Down for 2 minutes. And Alliance maybe going to break the base now. Mickey runs forward. The Aegis of the Immortal, well, doesn't matter anymore. Tier 3 tower bot is gone. Aegis has 15 seconds left on it. They keep the push going. The Rax needs to die.
That last play
Lone
from
Druid,
Tiger.
no Ember.
Epi, blink in stun, refresh and stun back out. He chained 3 heroes for the entirety of the duration for Epicenter and just solo kill 2 heroes. They're going to go in.
Another Epi. Another Pyro Strike gets the control. Ace being pulled back in. They need to kill off this Anti-Mage. He's the last big raid boss. The stuns, the control. Alliance focusing, but the blink away is able to work. PPD standing behind. The 2 supports utility going to work, but it's still a Megas up for Alliance. They have the tier 4 towers under siege. And for the moment, Alliance are backing up, but you know they want to reinsert. Boxy. Thought it was going to go on Ace, but everyone's already left him. Quoifer used 1 cheese.
Oh.
Just as a...
Good thing he's got another one.
This is a weather report. Yeah, amazing.
Oh, and I was getting an Arcane Rune too. I don't think they want to fight right now, though. Alliance will probably... Oh.
Okay.
He got real excited. Okay, they're going to try to end the game. They want to end the game. They know there's no buybacks.
Yep. So here they come. Alliance looking to force a Game 5 against NIP. Game 2 and Game 3 look pretty damn good for NIP, but Alliance has been pretty close. But in the last 20 minutes, they just moved ahead. Now they want to try and end it in the back lines. Grimstroke being initiated on, but Rubik's instantly dead. Quoifer was on him so quick. That's it. That's the game. Everyone's down. You may as well just call the GG. Alliance will force a decider in the grand final of the minor, the money, the glory, and the upper seeding going into the major. And that's what they're fighting for, and we'll have to do it in a full 5 series, keeping true to Alliance's form in this minor. Every game has gone the entire distance. Every series has gone the entire distance.
This was definitely the best game of the tournament for me. I think that was super entertaining. There were a lot of really clutch plays. There were mistakes, granted, but I really like the amount of big plays that we saw come out in this game. Taiga with the last play was amazing. We've seen some great steals from Saksa on the Rubik. Very clutch Manta usages, defensive spell casting, Glimmer Cape, Lotus Orb, the Yule's usage. There's so much to talk about in this game. It was was a treat to watch, honestly. I'm happy we got this game.
Yeah.
And, well, Alliance, they force a game 5, and Anti-Mage still never wins. So some things always stay the same.
You know what? And
Thanks for watching, and see you in game 5.
What? Okay.
Observing is something where I felt like I would actually push the whole craft forwards. I could give people something that they would enjoy.
Thank you.